Fishing this on low tide, have the opportunity to see how the spot is. But there is no always and never in sea trout fishing. And I'm in a way hoping that I'll be proved wrong about fishing these shallow parts here during days like this.
When it comes to sea trout fishing, we are always searching for the best conditions. But in a busy life, the ideal conditions doesn't always line up with the days we have time to fish. So the question is, do you challenge the conditions on the day you can fish, or do you wait until the conditions are perfect?
Hi guys, welcome to a new episode of Scandinavian Seatrout Adventure. My name is Carl, and in this series we do coastal fly fishing for sea trouts in Norway, Denmark and Sweden. Each of the episodes is filmed from one day's fishing, and even if we don't catch any fish, the videos will be uploaded. In today's episode we are in beautiful Denmark and we are on an island called Langeland. This is an island just on the outskirts of Fynen with great sea trout opportunities. So the stretch that we're fishing today is a quite shallow bay with a lot of vegetation before it goes out to some deeper sections and with amazing opportunities. So I'm really looking forward to this stretch here. The temperature today is beautiful. It's almost like the summer already has come to Denmark. So we have temperature upwards to 17 to 18 degrees. The water temperature is around those 8-9 degrees, so perfect. The wind today at the moment is coming from the north with 4-5 meters per second and in the gust 8 to 9 meters per second. During the day, the wind will turn a little bit around and come from all over the place, but then it will settle into a wind coming from the west. The gear that I'm using today is the Orvis Recon Salt, the new model there, in a 9-foot 7-weight. I have the Orvis Mirage LT reel, and I have a fly line from Scientific Angler, the Volantis. The Volantis line has an intermediate shooting head and then a floating part of the rest of the line. The shooting head weight for this line that I'm using today is 16 grams, so it's actually, I've gone down a line size, what is normally used, so 18 grams for a 7-weight. My leader is 15 foot long, and to start with today, I would like to use a shrimp fly. So I have a pretty big shrimp fly. This is a NS 122 from RX with some brown chartreuse and some rubber legs as well. I'm using this brown color as the main color due to that the vegetation is brown outside and I want to match some of the colors there. That's at least what my experience is regarding fishing those flats with vegetation and so on. So let's go out there and see if we can find some sea trout. So we are now wading ourselves a little bit further out. It is quite shallow inside here. Normally I would have liked to start fishing from shore and casted our way out, but we are currently on low tide. And a good thing about that is that we'll be fishing on rising water levels during the day. So it can definitely be standing fish here in the shallow section that we're walking on now. So we are potentially scaring a little bit of a fish, but I really want to get a little bit further out because the vegetation has already started to grow quite big. They are in the top of the water surface and it is quite easy to get stuck here as well. So to start a little bit further out. That will be good for now. We have a beautiful day in front of us where we're going to fish a huge stretch, and we'll just fish as much as we can and see if we can find some sea trout. So beautiful conditions. It is so nice, and this is some of my favorite fishing. So the wind is coming from the north, so it's like pushing from this side and then a little bit turning in, pressing some water into shore. So we'll be doing a little bit of backhand casting before we get around a corner a little bit later down there. Then we have the opportunity to do some casting the right way. So look at this stretch here. So we will see, at least start with the shrimp fly. Then we will see during the day if we need to maybe go down on the size. 4 hook is quite big, but at the same time, it's not that big that they don't want it. It's a lot of food, so hopefully they will want to eat something big. So I have fished this spot here once before, but that was during the autumn, where this spot here is just amazing. And but I haven't fished it in the spring. So it's going to be nice to see how it is. Most of the times that I've fished it also in the autumn, it has been on high tide or normal water levels. So that has been quite good. And usually it hasn't been fishing that good on low tide or the lower water levels. And that's mainly due to that it's, of course, they go a little bit further out. By positioning as we do now, weighted ourselves pretty far out, we also have the opportunity to cast into the shallow sections as well. And we're definitely doing that. But most of the time concentrating ourselves on the outer section on our right side to see. The water is crystal clear out here. A little bit further in, we have, of course, a little bit more color in the water due to the wind has been from the north also the whole day yesterday and during the night. So, but we have a long leader and already by casting into the shallow section here, we are almost getting stuck straight away. So it is quite shallow at the moment. And the fly that I have on is just swimming beautifully in the water. So really, really nice. And for the last couple of years, I have tried to use color that matches the vegetations on the spot. But with some trigger points, of course, so they can see the fly. But by doing that has actually given me some really, really nice results actually. So here we have a lot of brown, and then I use a fly that has 60 to 70% of the fly is camouflaging quite well. So when I fish the shrimp fly here now, I see, especially when the fly gets closer, and when I can see the fly, I see that it is fishing perfectly in in the water column. So when I have my stops now and my retrieve in the speed that I have now, it is actually fishing in the middle of the depth of the water. So it is perfect. So you don't want it to fish too high in the water column, and of course not too low either. So this is just perfect. So I have to fish it a little bit faster when I'm casting in, and that's mainly due so I'm not getting stuck in all the vegetation that I have there. So at the time now we are totally alone on the stretch here. So there's a lot of people walking here with their dogs and so on, but no one is fishing here at the moment, and that's just amazing. So we have the stretch totally for ourselves. So now fished for half an hour and nothing so far. Haven't seen anything, haven't felt anything, but let's just see. I'm pretty sure that we are going to find something on the stretch here. It will surprise me if we don't. So when I'm casting into a little bit bigger vegetation here now, when a fly just comes on the outside of the vegetation, I'm just looking for a follower, and I'm just like pretty sure that I see a follower. So fixated on just spotting fish if there's a follower there. Sometimes just a subtle movement of some of the vegetation and your heart stops, and so exciting. So the temperature is really nice today, but the wind from the north is a little bit cold, even though we have like upwards to 16 degrees at the moment, and it's going to rise a little bit. So but still a little bit of a breeze from the north coming. So now we're coming into a stretch where we have a little bit more of rocks as well, but still the majority of the bottom structure is sand and vegetation. So we are now in the last week of April, soon entering May. Exciting times ahead of us. So hopefully, oh, what's that? Oh, that was, oh. I thought that we had a bite there, but it was of course some vegetation that what it was like, just like a bite. So we're heading into May soon, and hopefully we will get a good start in May, and we will have more fish coming in. That would be nice. And I spoke to a couple of friends of mine here at that lives on Funen, and they have already been starting to catch garfish as well on the stretches already. So that's quite normal as well. But I think this year everybody thinks it is a little bit early due to that the sea trout fishing hasn't really had the kickstart that it usually has in April. So, but on the other hand, I was looking a little bit into some data that we have from many years back, and if we go 10-15 years back, we also had some winters that was really cold, and that delayed the spring. And if we also looked at the autumn fishing that we had in 2025, it was quite quite a delayed winter on that side of the year. So we had, I remember it was like +8 degrees the 22nd of December in 2025, and the cold period started the 25th of December. So all the way like November and December were quite warm, and we had some really good fishing actually. So I don't think it's very unnatural that we have a quite late spring when we also had quite a late winter. Didn't really start with the cold, and we had some nice water temperatures during December, at least in Denmark. So even if we have had a slow spring in Scandinavia, you can maybe take a couple of spots in Scandinavia where people have caught close to normal numbers with sea trout in April. I think this reminds me at least that we need to sometimes look more at the expectation level rather than looking for answers or excuses for not catching the numbers or the size of fish that we want. So mainly what I have learned fishing many years for sea trout is that if your expectation level is too high and you constantly need to that was grass again. You constantly need to catch fish to fulfill that expectation level, then you will get into problems regarding sea trout fishing, because it can be at times really tough, especially mentally. So, but by lowering the expectation level, you will enjoy the fishing more and take it more as it comes. So it's not the pressure. And that is something that especially I have to deal with. I am trying to show you in Scandinavian Sea Trout Adventure how fishing can be in between Sweden and Denmark and Norway. And let's just face it, so we have delivered now a lot of episodes, and to be honest, we haven't really caught any fish that is in a size that is in some people's size will say it's respectable size. And just face it, by social media and everything, we are measured in how many fish we are catching and also the size of the fish. And I can totally see that, but for me, I look at it in a different view. And of course, I would like to catch a lot of fish and I want to catch big fish. And I decided when I was going to start with Scandinavian Sea Trout series that we're doing now, that this is never going to affect me. If we have a bad streak of many trips in a row not catching fish at all and only catching small fish, then we just keep on going, because it will turn around, that's for sure. So, and I also wanted to do this series mainly to fish in different locations in Scandinavia, see the different nature, meet a lot of people, and for me, for me personally, it's one of my best decisions by doing this series and trying to commit to it, delivering a video every week when I can. So what I basically do is that I fish 3 to 4 days every week, all year around. And thank God I'm not bringing the cameras on every fishing trip. So I decide one day a week when I'm going to make an episode for Scandinavian Seatrout Adventure, and then I film it. And some of the days I can unfortunately not choose a day with the perfect condition, or it is just like everyone is just wanting to go on a fishing trip one day. We just go out and we take the conditions that we get and we try. So of course it will be nice if I could film 3-4 days a week and then just take the best days out of that lot and deliver a video. So by just choosing one day, this adds a little bit of pressure due to that. How many people are willing to look at episodes where we are delivering donuts and a lot of small fish, or even not catching anything? But for me, that's not the purpose. So I want to show sea trout fishing from its most honest way, regarding that you don't catch fish on every trip. And at the same time, I'm also now building a memory bank for myself with a lot of beautiful locations. So this is for me a win-win situation. Where we're standing now and the next spot that we're going, it is a lot of sand. Of course, it is some dots with vegetation that we can, but with the low water level that we have now, I think our chances is better to... Oh, is that... Oh, fish on, yeah. But that's, yeah, nice. That was a fish there, actually. Good. It is a small sea trout, but we have found a fish. And maybe also a school of fish, but that's a small sea trout. Oh, I don't think you can get them tinier, but... So guys, we managed to find a fish there, even if it was a tiny fish, but a beautiful fish. So we'll cast out into the same area, see if we have a school of fish out here. So cast it into where I caught that sea trout now, and nothing. So I think we will go into shore again and then go a little bit further down the stretch to where we're going to wade out and fish some more. So the first hour that we fish here now, giving us one small sea trout, and let's just move a little bit further down and see if we can find some more and bigger sea trout. Now come to the second spot of the stretch where we're going to wade out, do exactly the same as we did on the first stretch. Managed to catch one small sea trout at the first stretch. I was hoping for a little bit more fish there, looked really well, but we are now moving in and we're going to wade to some really exciting vegetation and spots here now for the second part of the stretch here now. And so high hopes that we might run into something here. So we're going on a little bit higher elevated spot here now. So we have the typical Belka on the left and the right side. So we'll just follow this stretch here. It will be a little bit deeper when we get a little bit further there. So it's just so peaceful and so nice to walk up here. So I'm standing on 40 centimeters of water here now. Just amazing. And also by fishing this on low tide that we're doing now, we also have the opportunity to see how the spot is, and just by the bottom structure here. Oh my God, this will just get better and better, this spot here. That's for sure. Especially if you are on vacation and you come to Finland. This is a perfect spot. Also, if you put it in between, if you are here for a week, for example, you put it in between some of the a little bit harder fishing days when you're walking on slippery rocks and a lot of walking, and you can just have a relaxing flat stay, just walking on sand bottom structure and enjoying yourself. It's quite effortless to fish when you have the bottom structure that you have here now. It's like going on a carpet in your living room. The only thing that I'm afraid of is that it is quite shallow here now due to still low tide, and what chance do we have that the big fish is coming in to such shallow water that we have in front of us? Where I'm casting now, it's about 60-70 centimeters of water maximum, and it's in the middle of the day with bright sun. So that's my only worry, that we might have a little bit of difficulty finding fish the way we are fishing now. But at the same time, let's figure out. The only way to know that is to see ourselves. So one of the things that is really fun also and very interesting is to try things out and think a little bit outside of the box, and don't only try those spots where you fish the same kind of depth or vegetation as you always do. It is important to explore also, and even if the depth of water and where we're fishing now, I'm not totally convinced that a huge fish will be standing on this shallow water or in the middle of the day. Okay, we will get the answer later today. And also many of the big fish that I have caught during my time as a fly fisherman, they surprise me all the time. So at the moment now we are standing on some grass, and as soon as I step out of that, it becomes quite deep. So this is the problem. So you have to be really careful. So we have to wade a little bit in here now, and then we can go up on the next level here. And then we get up a little bit higher elevated. So, but just jumping from one grass bed over to the other, it can have quite huge impact. So we have to be careful. So we are now fished off the stretch here without anything. So I think that I'll just take it casting and take my line on the reel, and we will move over to a little bit of a deeper edge further out to see if we can find some fish. We have spent now a lot of time on the shallow parts here. It's been very, very exciting, and I was hoping that we were going to be able to find a fish on this nice bottom structure here, but it is difficult with the conditions that we have with the sun and very, very shallow water. So I think that the sea trout are a little bit further out. So I will just meet you when we get over to the edge, and we will just go a little bit further in. Quite difficult today, that's for sure. So I think we will give it a try, 1.5 hours more, and then we will call it a day. So I met a local. He's both the spin fisherman and a fly fisherman that fishes this area here, and has done that frequently for many years. And he just told me as well that there is very, very long time in between the big fish, and it has been a struggle this year at the spot here. So he looked a little bit worried. So let's just hope that this has something to do with the cold winter, and we will just have a slow start of the spring, and the fishing will pick up. So we were supposed to have west wind. It has turned again. So it is quite difficult at the moment. So now we have the wind pushing directly in here. So, but we just have to do the best out of it. I have some nice vegetation on my right hand side here, and then we're just going to wait ourselves for 1.5 hours further up the coastline here and see if we can catch anything. And if not, we just have to call it a day. So we have now a long stretch in front of us that we're going to target. So a lot of nice vegetation, shallow. Just cast it out here when we're going to wade. The wind is pushing directly in here. So what I want to do is I want to wade out, and I want to cast a little bit further out and also target the vegetation close to shore here. Beautiful sand bottom here with some big rocks and some dots with vegetation, and this is going to be really good. So let's see here now. And hopefully we can find some fish on the stretch here. At least we found the fish early today, so we don't have a donut. Or I don't know if you can agree with me that it counts as a fish. So, but at least one small sea trout today. Oh yeah, fish. That was a fish. But it was a small one. Or, oh yeah, it's a big school of fish. It's like I have approximately around, if you see here now, approximately around a school of 50, 60 sea trout in this size here. So yeah, and the unweighted shrimp is just fishing so good. The only thing we miss is fish. So I really like to fish shrimp patterns when we have the waves coming in from the side here. Gives an extra really nice movement in the shrimp as well. Nice movement in the water. It's when we're staying here, of course we are over the water surface, and by looking at the conditions that we have here now, it is so good. So there is actually not much to complain about, but there's no fish here. But even though we had a day with pretty slow fishing, this is my favorite thing to do. Coming here, see if we can find something. It's just so exciting. So but of course, would be nice if we could at least get one decent fish today. That would be nice. And that's what we're hoping for. And we'll still have 500 meters left of the stretch here before we will call it a day. And we have a good chance. I have a good feeling that we will find something. Rather than if that feeling is based on hope, I don't know. But it has to be a fish here with the conditions we have now. So we are now fished this stretch for 1 hour and 20 minutes and nothing. Come on, there is a fish here. And with the wind here now and the waves, we are getting a little bit more dirt in the water as well. Out here, so, and also the water is a little bit more murky inside here, so yeah, but still no fish, at least nothing that has been interested in our fly, at least. So one of the last cast offs today, guys. Now soon at the end of the stretch here. It's been a beautiful day. Oh, and that was fish. Was it? No, that was grass. I think I just touched a couple of vegetation dots out there. It was like duk duk. So let's see. I would be really surprised if it was a fish. Had a couple of seemed like a bite, but I think it's vegetation. So just 2 dots that we run into, and No follower there either, so no. Let's see here now. Hopefully it was a fish, and there's a school of fish out there. But I don't think so. One more cast. We need to cast into this shallow section as well. No, definitely the last cast, and then really in there. So guys, I think it's time to wrap it up for today. It's been a beautiful day on the coastline of Langeland, but we struggled big time today. We can try to find all the excuses that we can find for today. Wind from the north, low tide, and all that kind of stuff, but it doesn't matter. I knew when I came here today how the conditions were. I wanted to test this spot in the springtime and also during northern wind, and it's been a beautiful day. I know that most likely it's quite boring for you guys to see episode after episode where we're struggling, but that's how the fishing is at the moment, and that's what Scandinavian Seatrout series is all about. I'm pretty sure that we're going to be successful further in the series, and we're going to get days where we have amazing fishing, a lot of fish, big fish as well. But in this series, I focus on taking the cameras out with me one day at a week, and it will just be as it is, as if you were going out on a fishing trip on one day that you chose. And sometimes we are choosing our fishing trips regarding how our schedule in our daily life is, and not when the best conditions are, and that's just how it is. But investing time on the coastline, it's just so amazing. So I get really energized by just being out in the nature and looking at all the different beautiful surroundings that we have in the nature. So I want to thank you so much for watching this episode of Scandinavian Seatrout Adventure. I really hope I will see you in the next one, and I also hope that we will be a little bit more successful, and then that I can show you some bigger fish in the upcoming episodes that we're doing. So, but as we always end it on the channel here, let's just get out there and go fly fishing. Fish on, yes! Oh, that's a nice one, guys. That's a really, really nice fish we have here, guys. Oh.